Well, good morning, everyone. It's another fantastic Monday morning, another episode of Health Plan Markets. So here we go. It's 9:02 a.m. on May 3rd. Thank you for being here. I know last week we took the week off, but still moving and grooving. I know many of you were part of our AHIP escape, and I really appreciate everyone that was there and put in the time and effort. Special thank you to Cindy, who did a great job coordinating that event for us and the team, and we want to do more of those things. So we need to grow, and we need to go out there and find more people to help. So with that, I do want to start off the call just a slightly bit different this morning, just as a reminder of why we're here. Why does Health Plan Markets exist? Why does our partnership exist? And why are you here? And just remember, guys, that Health Plan Markets is dedicated to helping our neighbors, our friends, our families, our loved ones by connecting them with high-quality health care. We're here to change the game. We're here to assist the community and make their lives better that way. That's our why, guys. So I don't want to lose focus on that. Sometimes we get all caught up in the contests and the fun stuff that we do here, but let's not lose focus on why we're here. We're here to serve others, go out there and make their lives better. So how do we do that? We start with education, because we got to know what we're talking about, right? So let's talk about training this week. So this week, starting today, this morning at 11 a.m., Devoted is doing their broker coffee and chat sessions. Again, this is so you can figure out all the great things about Devoted. Last Thursday, we did our advisor meeting. Fantastic meeting with Devoted, and they're sharing all the great things that they've got going on. One of the most supportive groups if you're looking to do events, marketing out there in the community, which is what we should be doing, especially right now, and they're super supportive. So figure out what's going on with Devoted. You can jump on the call at 11 there today. Moving on to tomorrow, Tuesday the 4th, WellCare is doing their Medicaid LIS training. So if you need a little refresher on Medicaid or LIS, I'm going to talk about that today. This is a great training to refresh what's going on with Medicaid. If you don't do a lot of Medicaid, please be on this call, because you're going to run into a lot of it this summer. And also to help your members qualify for Medicaid and LIS, this is a huge value add for your folks and to help them save money. 2 o'clock. On the 4th as well, WellCare is doing the same training in Espanol. So if you prefer the training in Spanish, you can do that at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Wednesday the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Only one training at 2 o'clock. Simply is doing their product training about their CSNPs. Now, this is something that I think a lot of us forget, is that Simply does have a chronic condition plan dedicated for those folks that have diabetes. You don't see a lot of apps coming through on that, because I think the first thing we think about is Freedom, and they have an exceptional product, obviously, but let's not forget about Simply. So if you're selling Simply and you need a refresher on the CSNPs, they've got some great strategy sessions that you can use at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday the 6th, Humana has their Essentials training. If you need some training on Humana's Essentials, dive in there. That's at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Also on Thursday at 11:30, Devoted is doing another broker coffee and chat session. That's geared towards Jacksonville, but again, everyone is welcome to join that. 1 o'clock on Thursday, Care Plus is doing their Essentials training. Dive in to make sure you've got all the goodies for Care Plus. Moving on to Friday the 7th, Simply is doing a face-to-face class. If you're a new agent, this is a requirement. Only for new agents are you required to do that first face-to-face class. I believe it is virtual, so you don't have to go anywhere. That's at 10 o'clock on Friday. So if you don't have Simply and you're ready to get that set up, that is at 10 o'clock on Friday. And then last training of the week at 2 o'clock on Friday the 7th, Simply is hosting the Medicare Savings Program. And again, this ties into Medicaid, LIS. Guys, this is a great time to learn Medicaid, okay? So wherever you are in the world, this is a good time to learn Medicaid and LIS. The Medicare Savings Program is essential if you're going to write business from now until December, okay? So that's the trainings for the week. Just remember, guys, that the training calendar is available on your laptop, phone, or iPad. Please make sure you've got it hooked up. You do want to ensure that you are getting faster, smarter, better, because that's how we help our community. All right, let's talk about contest winners. Last month we ran a contest for those that wrote Freedom Business. We had a $25 Wawa Gas Card per sale, and it looks like we only had 2 winners. Bill Coffin, congratulations. You've got Wawa gift cards coming at you. And Liz Courtenay, congratulations. You have Wawa cards coming. So how do we get in on this, guys? So Freedom this year is helping us out, but you know, we've got another contest for this month, and so we're writing for June 1st effectives. Believe it or not, we're almost halfway through 2021 in our writing year, so it's May. We're writing for June 1st effectives. Next month, we're going to start our trainings again. Yes, for 2022, AHIP is going to roll out, I think, on June 23rd, 22nd, 23rd, somewhere in there. So I want to start making sure that you guys have some extra cash so you can pay for that test. Because remember, the test is $125 every year. But if you do some sales here, we're going to get it paid for. So here's the deal. For 6-1 effectives, we've got a contest for you. 6-1 effectives. If you write 5 of any plan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of any plan, AHIP will be paid for you by HPM. We'll go ahead and cut you the check for $125, plus you get your commissions on all the plans, of course. Freedom, if you write, now you can do that, you can write 5 of those of anybody, or if you just write 2 Freedom sales. Just 2 Freedom sales, and we'll take care of your AHIP, okay? So either 2 Freedom sales or 5 of anything else you're spread, okay? So you can get there faster to get your AHIP paid for, and then, of course, your Freedom sales, you get 2 there, or any 5, okay? So that's a contest for 6-1 effectives. We'll keep that rolling, and I'll remind you again next week. This is a great chance just to make sure that you get your AHIP paid for and you get ready and geared up for 2022. All right, so a couple of updates here. First things first, Humana is requesting that you go in to your portal and check your status. And so I'm going to show you this morning on how to do that. So you're going to go to humana.com. You're going to go up to the top right corner, sign in. And so they're just making sure that all of your information is up to date, okay? So you're going to type in your email here, your login information. You're going to sign in. Again, all these carriers are revamping their systems, and I can tell you right now this is all new. You know, they've got some confidentialities they want to make sure that you're agreeing on, so go through that, and then it'll take you back into your Vantage portal. We live in the retail space, so you're going to click retail here. And so what they're wanting to do is you're going to go up to your profile here on the top right corner. There's it's like a magenta arrow, the farthest top, the furthest right. You're going to click that, and then it'll have a little pop-out box, and it'll show you your SAN number, your address, the phone number that you have on file, and your email address. Please make sure that you're checking this information this week, because they are going to start sending physical things to you. You want to make sure they have the right phone numbers, and they definitely need to make sure they have your email on file, because I know we change our emails. I know we may have an issue here and there, and if you don't have the right email, you're going to have significant problems during AEP. So please make sure that this information is correct. Again, I just showed you this. I am recording this, so if you're on the road and just listening to this through audio, that's fine. You can jump in. I'm going to send you a video later on, and I'll show you exactly on how to do that. And then you can just sign right back out. Literally, I just checked that in less than 2 minutes there. So make sure that you check your Humana information. This will also double check the Care Plus information as well, so you'll have Humana and Care Plus taken care of. And as we go through the 2022 certifications and trainings, you're going to log into each and every portal system that you are selling their product for. And most of them require you to go ahead and double check the contact information for you. But if not, just double check, triple check, make sure that they've got the right phone number, the right email, and the right address on file for you. in case there's any issues as they arise during the selling season. Okay, so let's talk about Medicaid. All right. So a couple things that I want to point out, and I was reminded last week because this is something that is a common mistake, and so I don't want anyone else to suffer the common mistakes that sometimes we find ourselves as a pitfall because it's quick, easy, and fast, okay? Now remember, when we're checking Medicaid, okay, when you're verifying Medicaid, it's okay to check any source, you know. I know Freedom has a great Medicaid check. You can go and call the 800 number and they'll verify Medicaid. I know Humana's got a number, but you can also check it on your Vantage portal. United Healthcare, the same thing. So no matter where you're checking your Medicaid, okay, it's very, very important that whatever plan you're going to put that person on. So if you check Medicaid with Humana and they say, hey, the member is QMB, you know, all right, well, the member's QMB, and I think, okay, well, based on that, maybe WellCare is a better fit. You check the docs, everything lines up well. Now what you need to do is double check WellCare system for Medicaid, because in one system, it may not reflect the actual Medicaid identifier in another carrier system. Why? Okay. Now, Medicaid is determined by the state of Florida. The state of Florida has a system, okay, and that system ties into each and every one of the carriers. So, but the thing is the carriers don't always update their information at the same time. So WellCare may not refresh their information for 48 hours, and Humana doesn't refresh it for 72 hours. And Medicaid status can change from day to day, just like that, with no warning to anyone, okay? Especially moving into a new month like right now. Maybe you checked Medicaid last week and the person was full dual. You go back and check it today, they've moved up to SLMB. What happened? Well, maybe they got a reported income statement and their Medicaid level got bumped down into SLMB. So the moral of the story is you want to check the actual plan, their Medicaid system, when you're enrolling the person in their Medicaid plan, okay? Because it will happen that you think that the person's QMB and you write them on a QMB plan with another carrier and they're actually SLMB in the system. So you're always going to re-verify that Medicaid right before you go through the benefits on the Medicaid plan that you're thinking you're going to put them on. So it's okay to get a quick check. You know, I'm going to quick check with Freedom, but I think they're going to be a Humana member. Okay, great. You know that they might have Medicaid. You definitely know they have LIS. You're going to want to re-verify Humana Medicaid before you write them on Humana. Okay, so please do that, because number one, you're going to get a rejected application. The member is going to be upset. You're going to lose confidence. You're also wasting your time. So we don't want that, right? We definitely don't want to hurt the member because they're expecting to be on a plan. You showed them all these great benefits and they don't qualify for them. So that makes it very difficult to go back and say, oops, I made a mistake. And it happens. We're all human here. But you know, let's just double verify that Medicaid and make sure that you're re-verifying the Medicaid with the actual carrier that you're going to be enrolling those folks in. Okay? So that's really important. Now, I am going to do a Medicaid training. We're going to do a deep dive session. I'm going to do a recorded session and send it out to you guys. You can watch it at your leisure. It's really, really important that you learn Medicaid. And as I said, going back to all the Medicaid trainings that are happening just this week, looks like there's 1, 2, 3 different Medicaid trainings just this week. It's really important that you spend the time to learn Medicaid and understand the ins and outs in your state. Okay, and again, most states, Medicaid might be a little bit different. So if you're doing business in other states, you've got to be very wary about, you know, the Medicaid system in the state that you're doing business with. Just make sure you understand, you know, the differences in those types of things. Okay. All right. Two things before we go forward. What I've noticed recently is we've got a few rookies and maybe some intermediary agents that have joined us recently, and it was brought to my attention that a lot of the agents kind of have worked on their own, doing their own thing, and that could become very overwhelming. But I have to say, the agents that are working together in a team, in a a group, seem to have a lot more success with lead generation, especially when you're doing events and going out to the community. So one strategy that I would recommend for some of you, and I know the veterans, it's hard to change your ways, but really consider possibly partnering up with an agent. And this is going to do a couple of things for you. Number one, motivation. Sometimes it's hard to find that motivation on a Monday morning to say, I'm going to go out there. It's a cloudy day, it's raining, I don't know if I want to do this, versus somebody calling you up and saying, hey, you ready to go? Let's go. Just that motivation and energy when you're working with somebody going out into the field. Number two, cross-checking your information. So if you are unsure about, how does the Medicaid system work, or, what was that thing that Justin said about Humana this week, or, when's the training for Medicaid, having somebody that, is shoulder to shoulder with you out in the field can really help that. Number three, when you're doing events, when you're going out there into the community and, you've got to set up tables and tents and get permissions and, file these events and maybe even, set up this new toy that we're going to be talking about in just a minute here. What's going on out there is you need help sometimes, and it's good to have, an extra set of hands. And, I'd like to commend Angie. I know she's been partnering with some of the newer agents, and thank you for doing that. I think that you're going to get a lot of value from that. Just helping each other out, I think, is a good cultural thing that we want to do here with HPM. But also working together in tandem can really, really benefit. And I'll tell you personally, I was once a lone wolf agent, and I was doing my own thing, maybe doing, 10 to 12 sales a month, during lock-in. And then I started getting a lot of Spanish-speaking leads that I really didn't feel comfortable serving those folks because their main language was Spanish. And so I asked a coworker if she would like to partner up with me. And so when we did that, eventually we got into such a groove. We did all of our events together. We went to the doctors together. We were able to tackle twice as much territory, do twice as much activity, and believe it or not, both of our sales improved. So I went to averaging, 10 to 12 sales a month, to averaging 16 to 20 sales a month, sometimes 25 sales a month. Collectively, we would do 50 to 60 sales a month, and it was just that tandem work that we worked together on. She was able to focus on the Hispanic community, and I was able to do a few things that she didn't really want or didn't have the time to do, and we shared leads, we shared sales, and at the end of the day, it really became a really, really powerful, strong partnership. We did some great things out in the community and made a lot of money. So if sometimes it's hard to push yourself to the next level, but when you have somebody there that's relying on you and you're relying on them, it's a strategy that I want you guys to think of. So if you want to partner up with an agent, please talk to Victor or Sergio, and we will make sure that we partner you up with an agent. We want to make sure that all the fits are right, and you guys can work together on getting out in the community and serving those that need your help. So think about that. Now, last thing on my agenda today is really just a big surprise for all of you. And many of you found out last weekend, or the weekend before last rather, that we have a brand new mobile enrollment unit. So yes, we have an RV that we have converted into a mobile enrollment unit. So we call her Stevie. Stevie is an RV that is about 32 feet big RV. But what's the purpose of this? Why did we get a mobile enrollment unit? So, you know, earlier in the year when we were going out into the field, looking at doctors' offices and seeing what was out in the community, we found that there was no one out there. And yes, we know COVID is still, you know, very much still here, and we have to take our precautions. However, outdoor events, I think this summer is going to be astronomical for success. So going out to setting up at a doctor's office or at a health fair or at a food bank or even at a grocery store or a supermarket where you can get permission to set up in the parking lot, we will have a mobile office, a mobile enrollment unit that we can pull up and bust out a tent, tables, some games, and really bring some flair out there to attract people to come on over and talk to you about insurance. Now, in the summertime, it's hot. I get it. So that's why we brought the mobile enrollment unit, especially for seniors. They can come on in. They'll have AC inside, and we're building out a nice desk in there for you guys to work from. So if you are interested in learning more about how you can get part of the mobile enrollment center, please let us know. We are building out a calendar, so it is first come, first serve for the days available. So if you have a health fair that's coming up, let us know as soon as possible. Also, we're doing some minor repairs, just making sure everything keeps working and going, because it is an RV and it is a little bit older, so we have to keep up with it. But it is going to serve the Central Florida market, but we will be able to take it out to Tampa market, Jacksonville market. If you've got some bigger events, we're happy to do that as well. That's the planned area, pretty much anywhere in Florida. Outside of Florida, we'll talk, but at the moment right now, we're going to kind of keep it where it makes sense to do it. It is a very thirsty vehicle, so gasoline is a big thing. So we want to make sure that wherever it goes, it makes sense. But you will now have basically an office on wheels, ready to show up, ready to set up a nice little get-together at any event that you do. We're going to bring the party for you. So that's it from me today. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. If anyone has any questions or comments, I'm happy to answer them.
Justin, who drives the bus?
Who drives the bus? Mark, you drive the bus.
No, I don't want to drive it. I don't want to drive it.
Yeah, at this point right now, it's going to be a select few. It will have to be an HPM employee. Myself, Nick, Sergio, one of us will be driving it. But great question. One of the goals that I have is to hire somebody to man the mobile RV pretty much every day. So I am on the lookout for an event coordinator to do that. But yeah, at this
and I'm happy about that. So
we do have an HPM employee that will deliver the RV for you.
And you and I discussed briefly if you could have an electronic sign on the side of the bus where you could change the image and show the picture of the agent who's involved. That would be phenomenal.
That's a great idea. Got to figure out some logistics on that, on how we can get that done. I have seen it done before. What they had to do is cut a hole in the RV, and that's pretty hefty. So I got to check to see but it's a great idea. I do like the idea, and I have seen it before. We got to figure out how we can get that done. But worst case scenario, everyone should have a personalized pull-up van. If you don't have one, we're happy to make one for you. You're out there doing it. All right. Any other questions this morning? Anything I can help with? All right, my friends. Well, I appreciate your time and attention. Remember, these calls are recorded, so if you need to reference back to them, you're more than welcome to do so on the YouTube channel. I'll send out an email and a text message to remind you. With that, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Be safe out there and go help some people.